Hi, everyone. Welcome again to Ivy League Analytical English. I'm Bruce.
I'm Angela.
And I'm Wesley.
Today we have two short articles for you, the first of which is entitled...
An emergency.
Yes, it is. If this is true, chocolate might vanish after 2050.
People, we have to come together. We have to fight global warming. This cannot be allowed to happen.
Who
No
can imagine
chocolate?
a world without chocolate?
A world without chocolate is a world without joy.
Or love, or peace, or happiness, or...
That's why world peace has not yet
Calories.
happened, is because there's not a great enough chocolate distribution across countries.
好，今天我们这个标题呢是暖化效应，巧克力2050年后恐怕会消失。好，那英文里面这个 vanish 就是消失的意思。好，所以刚刚这个 Angela 老师跟 Bruce 老师在开玩笑说，哇，这个不得了，怎么可以让这种事情发生呢？我们大家要怎么样 come together？ 我们大家大家聚在一起，好好讨论一下怎么办啊？怎么样可以这个阻止气候的暖化等等问题啊？这样子巧克力才不会消失。
Except I really meant that part. We really have to do something about global warming, people.
That's true. That's true.
That's
Yeah.
real.
Yeah, 那个关于我们要想办法这个减缓地球暖化，这一点是真的，这一点倒不是开玩笑的。
Okay, there are two paragraphs here. I'll read through them both right away, and then we go back and reread them sentence by sentence, as we usually do, or always do, along with the Chinese translation. Experts have predicted that at the current rate of production and consumption, commercial chocolate is set to disappear in as little as 40 years. Since cacao plants only grow in certain regions that have specific climates, more than half of the chocolate in the world comes from two countries in West Africa. Over the course of the next few decades, the effects of climate change are going to make these places unsuitable to grow cacao as a commercial crop. Luckily, researchers from the University of California, Berkeley, and candy company Mars, Inc., are working on modifying cacao plant seeds to make them able to grow in a wider variety of climates.
It'll probably taste different, though. That always happens. Like when they modified Arabica coffee to become Robusta coffee, and they could grow it not just on high mountains, but on flat plains where it's easier and you could do larger crops. You got a very different kind of coffee. So
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Soil.
the soil
It's
matters.
the food of the plant.
Also, the
So
genes matter.
You are
So-
what you eat.
You are what you eat. It's true. And I eat chocolate. By the way, there's two ways to pronounce cacao. I mean, I say cacao, and I never heard Bruce's pronunciation until today. But it turns out, having thoroughly reviewed the dictionaries, there are two ways to say this word. So he's going to say it his way. I'm going to say it my way.
Yeah, 那可可那个字哈 ，CACAO 有两种发音哈。那这个Bruce 老师他是念 cacao 啊，那这个是美式字典哈，这个 Webster 字典里面的发音哈。但是呢，这个 Angela 老师他习惯的是 cacao 啊。那这个发音呢，我们也有去查哈，就发现在这个英式的字典里面呢，好像 Longman 字典里面，它的发音是标 cacao， 所以两个发音都可以啊，可能是英式跟美式的差别。或者是看你是从哪里来听到的发音。
We should remember that it's Wailai.
Oh.
It's
Yeah.
not originally English, and very often...
Very little in English is originally English.
That's true. That's absolutely true.
Which is why it's such a messed up language. No, but I also want to further complicate your lives. There is a word C-A-C-O-A. Oh, no, C-O-C-O-A.
Right.
Right? That's cocoa.
Yep.
That's what
I
you
agree.
drink.
Right.
Cacao is the plant and the original seed,
seed.
which is processed into becoming cocoa powder or chocolate.
Very
好呀，所以这个 CACAO 这个 cacao 或者是 cacao， 它是指那可可树哈。那如果说我们吃的那个可可或拿来泡那个可可，那叫 cocoa 啊，那是另外一个字，它是 COCOA。
Yeah, just to make it really hard for you guys, because I'm sure you're throwing up your hands in the air like, why? Just call it that chocolate stuff. Okay, so experts have predicted that at the current rate of production and consumption, meaning that we are producing a ton of chocolate and we are consuming a ton of chocolate. I'm responsible for a lot of that. Commercial chocolate is set to disappear. Those are not good words. If something is set to happen, it means it's almost like scheduled to happen. So it's a little, this phraseology is a little alarming. It's set to disappear in as little as 40 years. That's still
I'm not
within my
worried.
lifetime, people. That's not good.
You might still be around, Bruce.
Yeah, advances in aging technology, etc.
120. If I have teeth,
That's
I
the
will
natural-
still be eating chocolate.
Yes, and also 120 is like the natural like lifespan of a human being in perfect health. So you're good.
Yeah, be there.
We have a date.
好，所以呢，我们看到这个句子呢，他说这个experts 就是专家啊，have predicted that 啊，他们预测、预估 ，predict 就是预测啊，他们预测呢 at the current rate of 就是以目前的速度啊，速率 rate 是一个速率 ，current 是目前的意思。以目前的速率，什么速率呢？以目前 production 生产，还有 consumption 消耗啊，所以以目前的生产和消耗速率来看啊，那结果怎么样呢 ？Commercial chocolate， commercial 就是商用的，也就是说巧克力可能有其他的作用。好，那商用巧克力大概就是大家做出来很漂亮，大家可以去买来吃的那种巧克力。好，这种商用的巧克力呢 ，it's set to 哈，这个 set 在这里就是 schedule 的意思，或者是 supposed to happen 的意思。通常是 scheduled or supposed to happen at a certain time 啊，就已经应该就是算一算，应该就是会这样，会怎么样呢？会 disappear， 会消失，商用巧克力会消失的。in 啊，在多久时间之内呢 ？as little as 40 years 啊，这短短的啊，可以在短短的40年之内，巧克力可能就消失了。
Since cacao plants only grow in certain regions that have specific climates, you don't see cacao plants growing in England or Germany or Japan. They grow in certain regions. In fact, it's between the equator and about 20 degrees north or south of the equator.
It has
specifically.
very particular conditions that it requires.
Right, specific climates. So it's got to have a lot of heat and a lot of moisture in particular. More than half of the chocolate in the world comes from two countries in West Africa. Specifically, they are Ghana and Ivory Coast, what we call in English Ivory Coast. And together, they account for about half. Here it's more than half. I think it's just more than half. Anyway, this is interesting because the cacao seed or plant does not come from Africa. It comes from Latin America. Those were the first countries to grow it. And still, Brazil and Ecuador, Mexico even, they also produce chocolate.
哦，好，所以这 Bruce 老师的地理非常的这个清楚啊，所以这也告诉大家啊，这个可可树啊，它们只会生长在某一些特定的区域 regions， 而且呢，这些区域是有特定的 specific、特定的 climates、特定的气候啊，那它就是要在地球赤道啊，这个赤道以南或赤道以北的20度之内啊，那这个所以因为这样子，所以这个全世界的巧克力呢，有超过一半是来自于2个西非的国家啊。那这2个西非国家啊 ，Bruce 老师告诉我们，一个是加纳，一个是象牙海岸。好，那除了这两个西非国家之外，其他的这个可可呢，可以在南美洲、拉丁美洲找到，因为这个 cacao 这个是应该是拉丁美洲的字啊，所以这个全球的巧克力就是要靠这几个地方。
Over the course of the next few decades, a decade is 10 years, so over the course of like the next 10, 20, 30 years, the effects of climate change, the fact that our planet is getting hotter and hotter, are going to make these places unsuitable to grow cacao as a commercial crop. We're actually already finding this with other crops around the planet, like because things are warmer, a certain mold will grow that didn't ever grow on something before, or that insects will have a longer eating season. And so these are the kinds of things that get out of whack when the climate changes.
啊，所以呢，这个其实随着气候的变迁呢，这个很多植物会受到影响啊。例如说，这个害虫，某些植物的害虫呢，它可以有更长的时间可以侵害这些食物啊，或者这些食物会有一些病虫害之类的问题哈。所以这个气候变迁是很大的一个问题了哈。那我们看到这个句子，他说 over the course of， 就是这个 course 就是一段时间，所以 over the course of the next few decades， 就是在未来的数十年之间呢 ，the effects 就是影响 of climate change， 这个气候变迁的影响 are going to 啊，各位注意到它是用 are going to 这样的这个现在进行式表示未来，那表示这个事情一定会发生的，那这个可能性相当高的啊，所以未来的这个数十年之内呢，气候变迁的影响 将会使得这些地方，这些产可可树的地方呢，变成 unsuitable， 就是不合适啊，再也不合适来种植可可树了啊，而且是 as a commercial crop， 就是你要当做一种经济作物来种，也就是说你要有相当的规模啊，所以未来这些地方也许还会有可可树，但是你要有那种经济规模的跟这个种植这种可可树啊，就变得这些地方会变得不合适啊，主要都是因为气候变迁的问题。
Okay, our second paragraph is actually just one sentence. Luckily, researchers from the University of California, Berkeley, and candy company Mars Incorporated, we can just say Inc., are working on modifying cacao plant seeds to make them able to grow in a wider variety of climates. So luckily or fortunately, good news, there are researchers at UCB and along with people who work for the largest private company in the United States. That's the Mars Candy Company. They make all kinds of candy bars. You can buy some of them here in Taiwan. Together, they are working on modifying. They are changing the cacao plant seeds so that we say genetically modifying them. They change the genes so that they can grow maybe in cooler or drier climates or at higher altitudes and so on, so that we won't depend on just a few countries which are now responsible for most chocolate production.
好 luckily 就是还好，幸好呢，这个研究人员啊，来自于加州大学伯克莱分校的这个研究人员，还有呢这个糖果公司啊，一个糖果公司 Candy Company 啊，叫 Mars 啊，这公司啊，所以他们现在合作啊。他们在怎么样are working on 就是致力于啊，要干嘛呢 modifying 啊，他们要改良或者改造这些可可树的种子啊，那让他们能够 able 啊 to make them able to grow， 让他们能够成长啊，在哪个地方成长呢 in a wider variety of climates 啊，在更多样的环境之下这个成长啊，所以不同的气候条件希望他们能够适应。那 variety of 就是各种各样的，那加了一个 wider 就表示他们要在更多样的这个气候之下，希望他们巧克力这个可可树还能够成长。
All right, we're ready now for our second short article. Disney buys out 21st Century Fox Studios for $52 billion.
好，我们的中文标题是迪士尼砸524亿美元收购福斯。
Okay, I'll read through these two paragraphs and then we'll get busy explaining them for you. In one of the biggest media mergers of all time, Walt Disney Company made a deal to buy out the film, television, and international businesses previously owned by media conglomerate 21st Century Fox. Disney will pay a reported $52.4 billion to acquire the company in a transition scheduled to take anywhere from 12 to 18 months. The move is meant to help existing franchises and future projects compete with digital media services like Netflix, Amazon, and Google. According to Disney Chief Executive Bob Iger, Disney has its sights set on starting a streaming service of its own in 2019, which would have access to all of the intellectual property that formerly belonged to Fox.
Okay, so in one of the biggest media mergers of all time, a merger is when two companies come together to become one.
Time Warner.
That's a very good example, actually. Time Warner used to be the biggest media merger of all time, and now Walt Disney and Fox have outdone them. Media, of course, is any company that deals with disseminating information. So newspapers, magazines, movies,
radio,
streaming
TV.
Services, internet, content providers, etc., like media. So Walt Disney Company, which we all know as they're famous for their movies, but they own a lot more than just movie production at this point. They made a deal to buy out. If you buy out something, it means you wholly own it. So it's a little less of a merger and more of a we've got you now. A merger implies that people are retained and that like there's equal sort of ownership.
They agree.
Yeah, but
Both sides agree.
a buyout is that now the Century Fox Studios is wholly owned by Disney. So that's slightly different terminology. So the fact that they're using both terms sort of muddies what actually happened. But they made a deal to buy out the film, television, and international businesses previously owned by media conglomerate 21st Century Fox. A media conglomerate is already a company that's been merged several times. Like 21st Century Fox already owns all sorts of very disparate kind of media businesses. So it's just like fish that are getting eaten by bigger and bigger fish. And now they've been eaten and made into the biggest fish of all.
The shark.
The sharks are not the biggest fish. This is a whale.
Whale is not a fish.
I knew he was going to go there. Look, it is in the ocean. It is swimming.
I give.
No, you're right. It's not a fish. Whales are mammals.
这个好，刚刚这个 Angela 讲说，这其实本来这个Fox 它本来就是已经有很多的企业，而且可能有些也是并购来的啊。但是呢，它这个好像这个大鱼吃小鱼啊，吃完小鱼之后，大鱼被更大的鱼吃掉了啊。那这个Bruce老师说，更大的鱼，例如说像鲨鱼啊。那这个 Angela 老师说不对，鲨鱼不是最大的鱼，那金鱼比它大啊。Bruce 老师说金鱼不是鱼啊，所以这个地方
and he was right.
因为金鱼是哺乳
，yeah
它是哺乳动物啊。好，那我们来看看这句，他说的这个在 one of the biggest 最大的啊这个 media mergers 就是一个这个并购案，媒体的并购案 of all time 就是有史以来最大的这个媒体并购案啊。这个在这样的一个并购案里面呢。华特迪士尼公司啊 made a deal 啊，就是做了一笔生意啊。这个 deal 就是 a business deal 在这里哈。干嘛呢？他要 buy out。buy out 其实是收购啊。它其实不见得，因为严格来讲并购的话是彼此可能还有多多少少还留有一点控制权，但是 buy out 就是全部都买掉了哈，收购掉了哈。所以他收购了怎么样？这个 film 电影哈 television 这电视，还有这个 international businesses。国际事业部这些 previously owned 就是原先是由谁所拥有的呢？这些电视电影国际事业原来是由怎么样？有一个媒体的企业集团，也就是21世纪福斯公司所拥有的。换句话说，迪士尼公司收购了这个21世纪福斯公司旗下的电影电视国际公司等等的。好，那这个字这里有一个字 conglomerate 这个字呢，其实就是一个企业集团。好，就它是一个集团，底下有各式各样的公司啊。那英文里面我们常常a news and entertainment conglomerate 啊，就是一个什么新闻跟娱乐的一个企业集团啊。所以这个字大家可以学一下。
Or electronics and appliances conglomerate, like we have in Japan and South Korea.
哦，或是电器用品的一个企业集团。
Okay, Disney will pay a reported $52.4 billion to acquire the company in a transition scheduled to take anywhere from 12 to 18 months. We've already talked about this enormous amount of money, and it's reported, so perhaps not every detail has been set or finalized, but that's what it seems it's going to be, to acquire, to buy out the company, 21st Century Fox. A transition means a change scheduled to take anywhere from a year to 18 months. It's a very complicated thing that they're doing. You can't do it overnight.
And also, it's not like the money is paid all at once to just one person. I want to point out what you said about reported and add to that and say that reported could also mean this is what we've heard, but we can't be sure this is the real number because financial transactions are often secret or private anyways.
好，所以这个地方他讲说这个21世纪福斯公司讲完之后呢，接下来说迪士尼他会付出 a reported 就是据报道我们不知道到底是不是这个数字但是这个应该就报道出来是这个数字了所以一个据报道是524亿的美金来 acquire 来取得来买这个 company 买这个21世纪福斯公司。那 in a transition transition 是一个这个转换或者是过渡的意思那这样一个交易的转换呢这个是 scheduled to take 这个目前预计会花多少时间 take 在这里是花费多少时间的意思它会花怎么样 anywhere from 12 to 18 months 就是 大概是12到18个月的时间。这个 anywhere 在这里大概中文可以翻成约的意思，它的意思是这个字在这里用来是它要 indicate a range of numbers 或者 amounts 所以可能是就是反正12到18月，大约是12到18个月。
The move is meant to help existing franchises and future projects compete. So the move, the thing they did, the deal that they made, it's a move like a chess move, like capitalism is a giant game. At least to some people it is. So it's meant to help their existing franchises. The there is kind of left out, which makes the sentence a bit more vague, like which franchises or who are we helping? This is, the kind of thing that people, when you're trying to be really polite, you don't really point too clearly. But it's to help Disney's existing franchises and Disney's future project compete with their competition, other digital media services, which are becoming bigger and bigger, like Netflix, Amazon, and Google. So these are where everybody in media has decided where the future of media is, and it's mostly because people like me are too lazy to actually leave their house, and we'd rather look up something on the internet. So probably that's why digital services are becoming a big thing. I'm personally responsible for this merger, is what I'm saying.
Yes, and for the price of chocolate, I might add.
Right. Yeah. You knew about that. Dang, I thought these negotiations were secret.
好，我们看到这句，他说 The move 就是这个举动呢 is meant to 就是它的目的是要帮助呢其实他这里没有讲明白，那其实是要帮助这个迪士尼它现有的 现有的 franchises 就是系列的电影还有它的 future projects， 它以后的会有一些这个拍片的计划等等的那希望能够帮助迪士尼现有这些东西呢，能够 compete with， 能够竞争，跟谁竞争呢？跟那些 digital 数位的这个 media 媒体然后呢 services 是服务商希望迪士尼希望未来能够跟这些数位媒体服务商竞争。那例如哪些数位媒体服务商呢？例如这个 Netflix 这个 Amazon Google。According
to Disney Chief Executive Bob Iger, a chief executive is one of the many, many titles that are used in business that means boss. Disney, the company, has its sights set on. Disney intends to. Disney is planning to. Disney is working towards starting a streaming service of its own in 2019. So they won't need other digital media services to send out their own movies, or after 2019, the intellectual property that used to belong to Fox, and that's quite a lot. 20th Century Fox movies there are hundreds of them, and some of them are really, really good. So Disney can keep all that profit. They don't have to depend on other media services to distribute their materials.
OK， 好，所以根据这个迪士尼的执行长Bob Iger 所说呢，他说这个迪士尼呢 has its sights set on 什么什么，这个 sights 在这里呢，你可以把它解释成为 a goal 或者是 expectation， 所以他们已经把他们目标 set 在这里是设定的意思，设定锁定的意思，他们已经把他们目标设定在什么上面呢？他们要 on starting， 他们要开始一个 streaming service， 一个串流的服务of its own， 就是迪士尼他们要有他们自己的，他们的目标现在是要创立他们自己的串流服务而且是在2019年这件事情要发生的。那这个串流服务设立之后呢 ，which would have access to， 那这样子的话，他们合并了之后呢，他并购了这个21世纪福斯公司之后呢，迪士尼就可以有 have access to， 它就可以使用所有的 the intellectual property 智慧财产这些 that formerly 就是早先或者原先原先是属于21世纪福斯公司的这些智慧财产呢在2019年迪士尼他们成立了自己的串流服务之后呢，他们就可以利用能够使用这些原先属于福斯21世纪福斯的智慧财产，那可以省很多钱。
Right. Okay, that's it for today's lesson. We've got to bring this to a conclusion. I'm getting my chocolate fix
while you
in
can.
Just a minute, right? Until the next time.
Bye-bye.